Welcome back to Vintage Masters. This is the final hosted by Team Cock Magic. I am Sully. Today we have with us Lee Holland, aka Ugg.
Howdy.
We have Stephen Mead, aka Thrun the Last Troll.
Heyo.
And in the finals for Vintage Masters held at Next Level Games, Dandenong, we have Andrew Canessa on his version of Shops. And we also have Brendan Watson on Blue Red Unpowered. I reiterate, Unpowered in Vintage Delver. In the finals, we had 42 players. We're down to the last two. First place for this event was a time vault, I believe. Is that correct, guys?
That's correct.
And we also had, for second place, an unlimited tropical island.
Yeah. So really excited to see how this match goes. We've seen Brendan's list twice already. We know the good stuff. We know he runs Harsh Mentor's main deck. Really excited to see how he goes against his Shops matchup.
Harsh Mentor seems really, really good against the Shops match at the moment. Because Shops has a lot of activated abilities these days. So it's gonna, if Brendan can slam one down as early as possible, he's going to lead in so much advantage.
Yeah.
So Andrew leads with the workshop. Sewer resistance. This is not good for our Delver player. Spheres are a pain in the butts to work through on the best of days.
And it's Wastelander straight out of the workshop's Wastelander straight out of the way.
Unfortunately for Brendan, Andrew does have another one. He drops the Ravager.
So, does he have 3 workshops in hand, Andrew? Is that what I'm saying?
I think so.
So it looks like he had another workshop in hand. It is.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm trying to tilt around. I can't see it.
This is going to be very interesting.
So unfortunately, the tempo play Brendan's going with, he drops in third workshop. Brendan's probably would wonder why he even bothered.
So he's probably scratching his head going, oh God. But I think it's still probably solid for him because it's forcing Andrew not to play as much threats as he could.
Yeah, definitely.
It's also turning off the Ballista on 3 or over the Ballista on 1, which is actually really relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. So Andrew swings in for the first blood. Looks like he's got a Revoker in hand as well. Does he blind name something? He hasn't really seen much, but he does. What would you name, knowing Brendan's list, or
knowing Brendan's? If I knew Brendan's list, I would probably name Dak Faden.
Yep,
that's always a decent threat.
Very much so with the Shops matchup.
If it's unknown, Jason Minesculpt always tends to be a nice, easy one.
Yeah.
But that being said, though, with the Sphere of Resistance out, it's always good to name something else just in case.
Yeah, and look, you can name a fetch land.
Not with Revoker.
No, Revoker, sorry.
Yeah, Pithy Needle can name lands. Revoker has to name a non-land permanent.
So could name something like Mox Ruby or something, or Mox Sapphire.
Yeah.
But that being so, the advantage is all on Brendan because he doesn't run any power.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at Brendan's hand, it looks very land heavy.
Yeah, it is. That's why he was going on the Wasteland Strip Mine plan, because it looked like he was just up on lands, but it turned out that he wasn't.
Oh, was that a Fleet Wheel Cruiser?
It was.
Oh, spicy.
It's an ancient tomb. So Andrew does have quite a lot of mana at his disposal now.
Oh, it's a Lodestoning Golem.
This is going to make the game very, very hard for Brendan to even catch up.
So we've got Andrew Canessa's list right here. He's playing 4 Workshop, 4 Ancient Tomb, 4 Wasteland, 4 Mishra's Factory, and a Tolarian Academy, and Strip Mine is his lands. He's got all pieces of the power besides the blue power, as in A-Call Time Warp.
And Time Twister, of course.
And Time Twister, which is less power than Time Vault, in my opinion. He's playing all the sphere effects as 4 obs that he's allowed to play, with the exception of 1 Trinisphere, 1 Lodestone Golem, and
Canessa
1
is-
Chalice.
That
The
fleet wheel
cruiser getting
is
in.
hit.
Oh, it's a beat. So is that first blood?
Oh
No,
wow!
that's
And that was
just,
a quick scoop up.
That was just I can't win through this. That was pretty
So
brilliant.
Yeah.
going to the sideboards for a second.
So so sideboarding in, I must imagine these sulfur elementals that have been main deck for Brendan come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got Ingot Chewers. Is True Nemesis worth bringing in?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
You'd think, because mental missteps as well are probably not very good in this match.
Oh,
Correct.
yeah, mental missteps
I
come
mean, it's
straight
probably
out.
Yeah.
probably if anything, it stops a soul ring and
There's very few things, very
So-
few targets.
100%. If he's playing red shops, I'd keep a mental
Yeah.
misstep or two in
You
because
can
of the
see it.
Gwalder.
He's taking out mental missteps. He's
Yeah.
taking out that red card. I think it is the elemental.
So,
Yeah, sulfur elemental.
so Andrew's got in his sideboard's got 3 Crucible Worlds, 3 Grafdigger's Cage, 3 Relic of Progenitus, 3 Ratchet Bombs, 1 Sky Sovereign console flagship.
That's amazing.
That's actually really spicy
I
tech.
like that spice.
And 2 Silent Arbiters.
Yeah, beautiful.
So one thing I noticed in Andrew's list that I really think is super spicy is 2 Sword of Fire and Ices.
Oh wow! Sword
That-
of Fire and Ice. So protection from red and blue.
Yeah.
Drawing cards, which is something that shops struggle with, is drawing cards. So people either play your
Coercive Portal
Yeah,
or Stuff.
Staff of Nin is a
Staff of
one we
Nin.
see often. But yeah, that sort of Fire and Ice could be game breaking in this situation. The 2 damage to a creature, pretty much all of Brendan's creatures are 2 toughness or less.
That being said, though, Brendan didn't actually show any creatures in that,
That is true.
which is actually a very useful thing.
Yes, so unless Andrew had scouted Brendan earlier, Andrew might not have any idea of what he's actually playing at the moment.
True. If you were Andrew, what would you put in? I'm
It's
definitely.
tough. With what he came against, Crucible of Worlds probably come in
Yep.
because you can get those lands back.
Make arguments for Sky Sovereign because it's an early basic just in case.
Yeah.
You can always, in those kind of decks, you can always expect a creature.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know it's a decent threat. It's also a 6/5 from memory.
Yeah, it's a pretty beefy card.
Yeah.
It does require that hefty crew if it wants to attack, though.
Of course.
So yeah, it's unlike something like Smuggler's Copter, which is a very low crewing cost.
It's crew 3, so
Crew 3, yeah.
it's relatively easy, doable in shops because you can lead off workshop mocks into Sky Sovereign and then proceed to go into another land of some description and going Walking Blizzard on X3 and then you can lead up in crew.
Yeah. So the trouble is though, is you're sinking a lot of mana into that.
They agreed.
But you know, shops can do that.
100%.
So game 1 to Andrew, very quick game. I don't think Brendan really had a chance.
No. I think Brendan was putting himself back by trying to wasteland lock / strip mine lock Andrew, but it wasn't working in his favour.
It was the three workshops that helped Andrew in that match
Yeah,
the most.
definitely.
So we got a Foundry Inspector come down, which makes all Andrew's artifacts cost 1 less.
Yeah, it's very handy. So Wasteland hits it. Looks like Andrew might not have a land drop. Very unfortunate because I can see that sort of Fire and Ice in his hand. If
Yeah.
he had been able to drop it and equip it,
Yeah.
that could have been devastating.
Protection from red and blue. That's really powerful in this matchup right now.
Yep.
Agreed.
There wouldn't be a lot Brennan can do, except for hope he hits an Ingot Chewer to get rid of it, or Dak Fade and take control and then play it
Oh,
onto
and
it
Harsh
then
Mentor.
equip it to one of his own creatures.
Yeah. Both players seeing new cards that they're not familiar with.
Hush Mentor is probably, it's probably the favorite card I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Right next to Renegade Relier, of course. I'm biased to that little card.
Yep. So, and Brendan's quite happy to trade his Harsh Mentor for that Foundry Inspector.
Yeah,
Ooh,
sorry, I took life off there by accident.
Andrew discards because he's up to 8. So
That's not going to be good for Andrew.
no.
Oh, and Young
and,
Pyromancer.
And a
Oh!
That's just a solid play by Brendan. I was talking to Andrew on the day, and he was telling me that he's been playing Vintage for a long time, and he's owned shops for a long time, and he had his deck list already, and then found out that Crucible of Worlds and Lodestone Golem both got restricted, so he had to change his deck nearly close, like a few days before the event.
Do you mean
which
Chalice to the
threw him
Void?
off. Yeah,
You
he
say
plays
Chalice.
one off.
You say Crucible first.
Sorry, yes, I meant Chalice of the Void. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So Revoker comes down.
Ooh, and a Gush.
Playing the one of Gush.
Very interesting.
And gets the...
So I believe he sees a bolt in hand at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you reckon he named? In this matchup, I reckon Jack Faden is probably the safest name.
Yeah.
Probably Jason the Mind Sculptor would be a safer bet
Against the
than
shop
Dak.
Against the shop matchup,
But would you expect him to be playing Dak?
if I'm playing as a blue-red player, I would.
Oh yeah, 100%. Actually, yeah, I am very on there.
I completely agree. Although keep in mind, as we've identified earlier, Andrew didn't actually know what Brendan was on unless he'd seen him play earlier.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. And he discards again?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is pretty brutal.
This land denial from Brendan's really
Canessa.
working this game. Whereas last game it was very miss. This
Oh,
one
that's
has
the
been
Ingature?
spot on point.
It
Just,
looks like he drew an Ingature for turn as
yeah.
well.
And is that a Jace? Vince
Bryn's Prodigy.
Prodigy check card in Brendan's hand?
If he goes through the hand, we could probably see it. Yeah, I think so. Right at the end.
So attacking in for 1, 2, 3, 5 damage, putting him to 9. That's pretty good.
Oh no,
It does look like it, but he does not have a. I cannot find a Jace on the list.
it's probably a True Name Nemesis, maybe.
Yeah, it
Similar
might be
art.
altered. Yeah. Andrew not drawing lands there and getting wastelanded where it was crucial.
It was a polar game from that first one.
Yeah, very polar, very polar.
It's very classic in the match of Delver versus shops. Reminds me back of a couple years back when shops didn't have the Arcbound Ravagers running around in that particular list.
Yeah, it didn't
And
also
Delver
have
saw
Hagerback Walkers or
the
Walking
blisters,
Blisters.
yeah, or even the Fleetwheel Cruiser.
the cars,
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, I imagine if Andrew does hit a walking ballista, it could be quite devastating against Brendan just because of that ability to clear his creatures. I believe we spoke about it before, just those low toughness dudes, really vulnerable to some of the stuff that's in Andrew's deck.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
So we've got a name for Andrew Canessa's deck. He's called it the Italian Job, and I've put that in brackets because it is a shops deck, but he likes to call it the Italian Job solely to go around the Fleetwood Cruisers. Unlike Nick Chimorowski, who calls his Tokyo Drift. So they're very car-centric decks.
So there is a Delver in the opening hand of Brendan, if he chooses to keep it.
So he's trying to show us he's got 2
Oh, it looks like Harsh Mentor.
Harsh Mentors.
Oh, it seems good against that.
Was that
matchup.
is he playing Blood Moon? No.
No.
Okay, that must be the strip mine that I'm seeing.
So Andrew leads.
Ancient Tomb into Reflection
Revoker.
Revoker. Blind naming.
Yeah.
He's seen the Revoker every game and just unfortunately hasn't really done a lot.
Top deck's the True Name Nemesis. Yeah, it was a strip mine that I've seen. So just trying to go down the beatdown plan.
Would you trade the Delver for the Reflection Revoker?
Never. I think the Delver's going to flip and do more damage.
Yeah,
In this
not at
matchup?
this stage of the game.
It comes down to what the Reflection Revoker is named.
Yeah,
If it's
100%.
more relevant, like you trade off because you're following up with a bunch of by the looks of it, Harsh Mentor. I'm guessing by those red cards.
Yeah.
And there's a Wasteland for Andrew.
Just trying to trade lands for
Hey,
lands here.
there's a flip.
Revealing a bolt, sorry. to flip his Delver. And that bolt's just going to make work of the Revoker if he needs to.
That's true.
There it is.
Excellent.
Yep.
Gets it for 3.
Going down to 15 for Canessa.
So if Canessa doesn't have another land, no, he does.
Oh, it doesn't.
Oh.
It does nothing right now. I feel for Canessa right
That's
now. That was a well-timed bolt, and he's just drawn another bolt. Now, I'd like to add that both these players have been playing a long day today, so their mental capacity would be on a tight rope right now. But
they can't. I think we're just going through just showing they can't be animated.
yeah,
Well, it can be animated.
it can be animated, but
And then you can add 1 blue to his mana pool.
yeah,
But that's just the spicy tech. Still net 1 mana.
it doesn't net him any mana to
Yeah,
activate
true.
that
So
factory.
main step brainstorm. By the looks of it.
Yeah.
Just to search for that flooded strand that he has in hand. Just get rid
Or
of
maybe
stuff.
even like a land destruction spell.
Yeah, he's got
I'm
that
trying-
one of Gush again in hand.
Oh, that's a harsh mender up front as well.
Yeah, so he's got
Spell Pierce. I don't think Andrew's going to be able to play anything in the next couple of turns. It's Brendan in a very good spot.
Yeah, true.
And yes, if he does drop that Harsh Mentor with the Spell Pierce backup, it's
Oh, wow. I think that's just a pass the turn.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Andrew. That was a well-timed strip mine.
yeah.
Probably going to maybe find out. Yeah, finds the volcanic
It might
islands.
have been a misplay for Andrew to Wasteland back against a Gush type deck.
Oh, and harsh mentor as well.
So we've got down the bottom of the screen, just under the TCM logo, we've got the Time Vault and the Unlimited Trop.
Oh, and it's a handshake.
That's a handshake
Andrew's
from
fault.
Andrew. That's pretty unfortunate for Andrew. Getting mana screwed, which does happen.
Yeah.
But
That one strip mine in this game went a very long way.
it did.
In the other games, the one probably wouldn't have done quite as much work.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So
Unpowered Delver.
100%. This is amazing. Seeing Unpowered Delver take out the Vintage Eternal weekend, that is amazing. It proves that you don't need a turn 1 kill to win a Vintage tournament.
It also proves you actually don't need power as well.
Whoa, love it. Love it so much.
Well, I would just like to point out, when we say unpowered, for the purposes of the tournament, it was the Power 9 with the addition of the Mishra's Workshops, Bizarro Baghdad's, Library of Alexandria, Time Vault,
and a Imperial Seal, which was a very interesting choice. Since VT is essentially the same card.
just slightly better.
Just slightly better. We get to see people there sideboarding, but yeah, massive congratulations to our Werribee friend Brendan Watson for taking out the final for Vintage Masters. Stay tuned, you'll see coverage from the other 2 events, 7-Point Australian Highlander and the Legacy event.
Thanks very much for watching.
Thank you so much as well.
Thank you very much.
Catch up.